Hello, everyone, and welcome back. At the rate we're going, we are probably not gonna be finished by the time the new player's handbook comes out. Even though, still, fingers crossed, hope we are.
We could just start over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to talk about the new stuff when it comes out, too. So.
Oh no.
No, well, I mean, I guess I don't have to, either, but it's the principle of the thing. You understand. In any aspect, respect, prospect, whatever. We're talking about fighters.
Right word. Yeah, the fightiest of all the classes.
Yeah, fighters are weird in the sense to where I feel like they have the most.
I feel like they're not weird.
Well, they have the most open-ended mechanical nature for adding good subclasses to them. But if you ignore the fact that they get, like, 3 attacks at level 11 with any of the subclasses, they just make you worse for picking them. Also, I feel like a lot of fighter subclasses just make a fighter worse.
What? What are all of these opinions that you're spouting?
This is my opinion, bro. There's a fighter has a lot of bad subclasses. I'm sorry.
What is wrong with you?
It's true. Most of their subclasses
Skip
are
to the Arcane
ass.
Archer.
Alright, fine. Arcane Archer, here we go. An Arcane Archer studies a unique elven method of archery that weaves magic into attacks to produce supernatural effects. Arcane Archers are some of the most elite warriors among the elves. They stand watch over the fringes of elven domains and keep a keen eye out for trespassers, using magic-infused arrows to defeat monsters and invaders before they can reach elven settlements. Over the centuries, the methods of these elf archers have been learned by members of either races who can also balance arcane aptitude with archery. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
I love elves.
Yeah, you don't actually have to be an elf in Arcane Archer. Unlike the Battle Rager Barbarian.
Yeah,
But
you might actually want to play Arcane Archer on like a battle.
it's kind of like sort of a cool idea. It's got that going for it, right?
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty decent. I mean, you just basically get some cool shots you can shoot with the bow. You get to pick different things. They aren't like terribly crazy, but they're kind of just decent.
They're not
Yeah, some
awesome
cool ideas.
You need to have int to use them. So you will be a class who isn't a caster who's investing in intelligence, which is kind of
only if they need a save, but also you only need dex, so that's not really a downside.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
You're an Arcane Archer. I feel like you should want in. You're like Wizard Bow.
Maybe. Hang on.
It has some cool stuff. Like, curving shot's fun. If you miss with a magic shot, you can, like, redirect it with a bonus action roll again. Your attacks, like, count as magic. If you fire them from a bow, which doesn't really matter because you probably are going to have a magic bow by 7th level anyway.
I mean, maybe not.
If you're 15th level, you get a shot, an arcane shot, if you don't have one. I don't know. I mean, it's not like crazy impactful, but you're a fighter, and the fighter features are strong. You get prestidigitation and druid or druidcraft, which you can do some fun stuff with, flavor-wise.
Just, I feel like the arcane shots don't... I mean, they don't scale super well. They do scale a little, sorta, but at 18th level. And even then, your features of this class are just you get more arcane shots, which isn't really all that exciting. Because you'll probably get the ones you really want to use early on. And then it's like, well, now I have like all of them. And I don't know.
You can like banish people or like pin people down. You can shoot through multiple creatures. You get like a lightning bolt arrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
You can blind people. They do things that you want to do. I don't know. They're pretty decent. It doesn't really scale, but I don't know that you really need it to. Like, having a sword as a ranger doesn't scale. You get extra attack at 5, and then you're not any better at using it, but you're still using your sword at level 20 is still good.
Yeah, but you do get scaling features. I mean, I don't know. You are just essentially firing a bow as a dex fighter.
Yeah.
Just baseline, and 2 times per long rest you can use an arcane shot.
Short rest.
It's like, it's alright. But I don't know. It's just not like, it's not very standouty. Like, I feel like
they are short rest, not long rest.
That's what I said.
You said long rest.
I said short rest. I said you could do 2 per short rest.
No, whatever. That's still pretty decent. Fighters like short rests. I don't know.
Yeah, but
still a fighter. I don't know. It's pretty good.
I don't know. Like, if I'm gonna play a ranged character,
I didn't think I was the one that was gonna be here coming to bat for fighter here. God.
Yeah, but you're coming to bat for Arcane Archer, right? Like, it's not that interesting. Like, you can just play a ranger, and you can kind of get all this flavor. They have spells that kind of move this stuff in, and you also get a ranger subclass, which is probably going to be more interesting than this one anyway. Because rangers get pretty good subclasses. I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but it is kind of... You are a bow fighter.
Put it there? Where would you put it?
Probably here. C. I think it's good.
Sure. I think that's
it supplements you being a bow fighter, but you're not like anything special.
It isn't that exciting. It does what I want. What you want it to do.
Yeah, it works.
It fire more shots, but it is kind of doesn't have a huge amount of flavor because you could just be playing a ranger just has more flavor.
Yeah. So,
but it is int based, which I think is dope.
It's kind of unique.
You want to be an int based ranger.
There's speaking of some possibilities for things being int based. We're coming up on the battlemaster. Do you have the stuff open?
Yeah.
You want to read the battlemaster description?
I always have this stuff. The D&D Beyond's always like one click away for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm the same way.
Battlemaster. Those who emulate the archetypal.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a word?
I guess.
Those who emulate the archetypal battlemaster employ martial techniques passed down through generations. To a battlemaster, combat is an academic field, sometimes including subjects beyond battle, such as weaponsmithing and calligraphy. Not every fighter absorbs the lessons of history, theory, and artistry that are reflected in the battlemaster archetype, but those who do are well-rounded fighters of great skill and knowledge.
Wow. Yeah. This is kind of just the fighter subclass. I think
Damn.
pretty much if anyone's gonna play a fighter, you're gonna play a battlemaster or you're gonna play a Rune Knight.
What?
Just how it is, man.
What? What a wild claim.
It's not a wild claim at all. Look, Battlemaster's just like the most interesting fighter subclass. It has a ton of different things you can do, like the maneuver system is cool. And
I mean,
even if it's not super viable, there are maneuvers that like can scale with like your charisma, right? And you could be like a battlefield tactician sort of character, which is like support character, which is cool. At least I think
it is cool.
Um,
It's pretty good.
and also, there's maneuvers that are good with ranged weapons as well, so you could just be a battlemaster or bow person as well. It's not exactly the same flavor as Arcane Archer because they use magic, but you know.
Yeah, this is a lot more of like you're just a commander.
Yeah, but it is still very good to be a dex fighter, battlemaster. Hell, I mean, pretty much any way you want to build a fighter, like just by default in your head, there's a way to support it as a battlemaster, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting that the description talks about it being related to history, theory, and artistry. That doesn't come through at all, bro. I don't know where they...
Well, you're supposed to be like a learned, like, general type character.
Yeah, it's not like int related.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are. You can make like there's like tactical assessment where you can add your role to history, insight, or investigation roles.
Yeah.
And then you can, I guess, 7th level you observe people, but I don't know. That's not really the same type of thing. I've always felt like Battlemaster.
Also, you get 4 per short rest instead of 2 on the Arcane Archer. It's nice.
Yeah, but they're probably not as good individually as the arcane shots.
I would disagree. Some of them are very useful.
Some of them are good. They definitely aren't created equal. Some of them are good, and some of them are really bad.
They are not all created equal, but there are so many of them that there's a lot of roleplay potential. Like, you can build a lot of different characters just off the Battlemaster shell.
I guess.
Like,
I don't know. I've always felt Battlemaster, they have all these things going for them. They have, like, you pick them, and they've got, like, 100 different options you can pick from. Like, they've got a list of 1,000,000 things. And then I look at it and there's so much I can do, and I just read through them and I get to the end of the list. And I go, wow, I don't want any of these.
well, to be fair,
there's so much complexity here, so much to read through.
You're not really a fighter type character, right? Like,
boring.
None of them let you like shoot lightning at people or fly.
Do anything interesting. They let you roll a d10 and then push someone 5 feet, or give someone 10 temp HP. Or sorry, 5 temp HP at most.
I mean, I still think those things are pretty good.
It's not interesting though, it's boring.
Like, trip attack is pretty cool, like you sweep people and then you can knock them prone.
It's not cool. Knocking someone prone isn't cool. You can just push people over. That's an attack too.
Well,
You just get to
there's,
do damage
some of the
as
Tasha's
well.
ones are pretty neat, right? Like, you can add a superiority dice to a stealth or initiative roll. That's pretty cool. There's commanding
No.
presence. Commanding presence is pretty cool. When you make a charisma check, you can add superiority dice to it. It's pretty neat.
Just play a bard.
Yeah, but like, this is like for people who don't want to be magic, but, you know, want to have that, like, sort of deal going on, I think. Well, there's also, like, I don't know, some intelligence ones, like tactical assessment.
Tactical assessment is terrible. You
I
just
think it's
get
cool, though.
bonuses for no reason. There's like no flavor there. None of them are interesting. Some of them are technically good, but most of them are just you do an action that you could have done already, but you get to attack with it, or you get to add a die to something you could have already done. It's just you're a guy, but you get to add a D10 to things randomly.
It's not necessarily
No.
randomly. You can add flavor to it pretty easily, I think. I mean, it sort of tells you what you're doing, right? Like, I feel like it's pretty interesting to me.
I feel like I'd rather just play that out on a class that's more interesting. Features that actually do something.
I mean, look, I can understand you not wanting to play a fighter or like a battlemaster.
Battlemaster's boring.
Their stuff is pretty interesting, especially compared to other fighter things. Like, there's a lot of roleplay potential.
It's not a roleplay potential in Arcane Archer, and you were like, "This is the worst class of all."
Because there's way less roleplay potential in Arcane Archer, because you're always a character who has a magic bow, who uses magic bow spells. In Battlemaster, you can be like 10 different people. Like,
and they're all boring.
I don't think that's true.
You can play 10 different boring people that do boring things, and you describe how you're adding a D10 to you waving your hand and saying hello.
Look, I don't think
you
it's... I don't
hit
think you're
somebody with
being
your sword.
reasonable to the to the Battlemaster here. I think you're being
Bait
mean.
subclass. Bait subclass.
Oh my god.
Overhyped. It's not hyped at all, and it's overhyped.
I think it's kinda hyped.
It's hyped by people looking at it, going, "Look at all this text. There's so much I can do. This is
Look,
such an interesting
anyone
class
who
that I'm
plays
not gonna
fighters play
because
this
it's
class.
boring." That's not true.
It's true. This class is easily the most interesting fighter subclass.
Doubt X.
It's bro, it is not wrong. It's
Put it in D.
oh my god, it definitely isn't going in D. What the hell?
Put it in D. Boring.
Nope.
class.
Sorry.
What? A?
I'm putting it in A
That's a
because of you. It would be an S if you didn't complain so much.
Disgusting.
It's true. Look, if we're just comparing them to fighter subclasses, it's the best one. Other than Rune Knight, obviously.
No. Other than the good ones.
Bro, only Rune Knight is a good one.
Incorrect.
It's true.
It's not true.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to argue this whole video, huh? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Strap in.
Whatever. It is what it is. Cavalier fighters. The archetypal bro, literally the same bad word. Archetypal Cavalier excels at mounted combat. Usually born among the nobility and raised at court, a Cavalier is equally at home leading a cavalry charger exchanging repartee at a state dinner. Cavaliers also learn how to guard those in their charge from harm, often serving as the protectors of their superiors of the weak, compelled to right wrongs or earn prestige. Many of these fighters leave their lives of comfort to embark on glorious adventure. Alright, first things first. They get Unwavering Mark, which is the only reason you play this class, because it's one of the very few like taunt options that are decent in the game and allow you to play a tank character. Other than that, though, you'd never want to play this character over a paladin, because the paladins are cooler and also get mounts that they can magically summon out of nowhere, and a cavalier needs to actually have a horse that they have to keep with them.
It's so hard to make this work. Being a character based around a mount that isn't like a summon is so hard to get to work right, because it's a lot bigger of an ask than having like a pet too, right? Like the ranger that gets a pet.
Yeah.
Because you could leave the pet behind. You can put
Also,
it
they did
somewhere.
rework the pet ranger to where you summon
Yeah,
it.
they did. You summon it, which does work better because of the big. I mean, I think this has other issues on top of it. I mean, it has the features of like, it's based around an animal that if it dies, then you're kind of boned. But also, it's the even worse because you don't get any of your features really. You get some, but you don't really get any features if you aren't on a mount, which is like a horse. You can't like dungeon dive with a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some campaigns it can work, but it's so hard.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of like optimized builds, well, not even all of them, but you know, a good amount of optimized builds will put 3 levels into this class to get a taunt, and only for purely tank frontline builds, which are not even like super mega viable at optimal levels in this game. So, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like just going, like, it could be kind of fun to be like a guy.
Doesn't require you to be on a horse, right?
It doesn't. No.
No, it doesn't.
That's why it comes up, but it's like, I don't know.
I mean, you can just be a armorer, artificer. They have like the same feature.
Yeah, they kind of do. There's also like goading attack, which is a thing on.
Yeah, that one's a bit more inconsistent though.
Yeah, it is. But you know, there's, like it comes up. Like Unwavering Mark comes up occasionally. It's not super good though. It's like, you know, it's like a tank class, sorta. You get like a thing at 7th level. It's sorta bad. But, you know, you can add AC to someone who's right next to you. Yeah. I don't know. You like...
I mean, I guess most of these features don't actually reference that you're on a mount.
No. You do, like, kinda get Sentinel. That's pretty good.
Actually, none of their features require you to be on a.
No, you don't have to be on a mount.
I assumed there was more references to you being on a mount.
No, just the Born to the Saddle stuff. It's mostly just a tank subclass. It's just kinda... you know, it's better if you're on a mount, but it doesn't require you to be on one for the class to work.
I mean, warding maneuver is just kind of...
It's alright. But it's only good if someone's standing right next to you.
Yeah, but it's also a fighting style.
Yeah, kinda.
Like the two Tasha's fighting styles that like let you deflect stuff and reduce damage are just there. And this has a number of uses, which is pretty bad.
It's also a reaction, which isn't awesome because you're at 10th level you get essentially
Yeah, like you
Sentinel,
have a
so you get
reaction thing.
more reactions. So it's like you want a opportunity attack. I mean, the level 15 thing is like sort of cool.
I mean, at
Kinda.
level 18 you get like infinite reactions.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Oh, that's level 18, so that's not real.
But yeah, I don't know. You can get that ferocious chargers essentially like the
I
Minotaur
don't know.
feat.
It's kind of convoluted and bad. It's just worse. 7th level feature is a fighting style. Its 3rd level feature.
Well, the 7th level is a fighting style. The 10th and 15th level features are just feats. And you're a fighter, so you have a bunch of feats. So you could just take
It
them
only
if
has
you
one
want
feature
them.
that actually references its mount, which is like kind of the point. Which is a problem, but
Anyway, I don't know. I feel like
I
we've kind of like heed and hawed over Cavalier probably longer than we need to.
Just put
It's
it in
kind of
D.
mid. Where?
D.
D?
D.
I don't know. I feel like I should put it in C. Because at least its features work still. Like, it's not very
but they're
strong.
bad.
But
Its features are you could have taken a fighting style instead of the subclass.
I mean, that's kind of true, but I don't know. It's okay, I think.
It's okay.
It's good
Fine.
enough to put in C.
Whatever. Fine.
Like, I don't know. Well, whatever. Now you get to read the super epic champion, subtext.
The archetypical champion focuses on the development of raw physical power, honed to deadly perfection. Those who model themselves on this archetype combine rigorous training with physical excellence to deal devastating blows.
Yeah. Prove critical. It's all you get when you get the champion. That's
Basically, its features aren't terribly exciting or flavorful,
I think,
but it's just kind of good.
I think a lot of tables, I don't know. It depends how easy it is for you to get advantage. If you can get it very consistently when fighting as a champion, then improved critical is very good. If you can't, it's not that good. You're still not gonna crit all the time. And when you do, because of the way crits work in D&D, you can just roll 2 1s, and it's like, oh, it's not that good.
Yeah, but you can also just go great weapon great weapon fighting.
Yeah, and like reroll 1s and 2s on.
Yeah, and you can also just do 1,000 damage instead, and just be the highest DPS, the highest outputting DPS in your party by a large margin.
Yeah.
You get more fighting styles, which isn't that exciting, but it's good. At 15th level, you crit on an 18.
Which is much better, but also that's 15th level. Which I would
go great
probably
weapon
most.
master.
Most campaigns probably don't get to 15th level.
And it really leans into it. It's just good.
It's okay. I don't know. Like, getting another fighting style at 10 is pretty lame and bad, because you could just multi-class and get another fighting style, which is way better.
Yeah, but you're getting a feat, like, every 2 levels.
Like, Remarkable Athlete is like, I don't know. It's kind of eh. You can jump kind of far, I guess. You could take this and maybe like also the feat that makes you jump farther and be like a grung. Maybe you could do something funny. I don't know, man. It's kind of it ain't it. It's not for me. Like I already don't like want to play a fighter. Nothing about a champion makes me want to pick this unless I'm like playing Baldur's Gate and I get a cool bow that reduces crits, and then I'm like, oh shit, 3 levels in champion, and then I can crit on 15s in Baldur's Gate. But like, that's not gonna happen in a regular game.
There's zero flavor, but it's just kind of decent.
There's no flavor, and and they do decent damage, but like, who cares, right? There's more to this game than damage. Like, they don't have any...
There is more to this game than damage, but damage...
There's not even, like, a good role-playing thing here. Like, there's nothing you can do as a champion that you can't do as any of the other ones we already mentioned. Especially Battlemaster. Like, you're... I don't know, man. I know why it's in the game. It's so that a player who has never played D&D before can play a champion fighter and not have to worry that much about what they're doing. And I get that.
I guess.
But
do more damage.
it's just...
So, it's good. I don't know. Just put it in C.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, there's nothing here that makes you actively worse, I guess. Unless you're intentionally just trying to crit fish and making yourself worse off for it. But, I mean, whatever.
I don't know how you crit fish and make yourself worse. The way you crit fish is just by, like, flanking.
Yeah, but not everyone plays with flanking rules. They're optional. Actually, I would say most people don't play with even the optional flanking rules and instead do variant flanking rules that like reduce AC or something instead, because it removes the importance of advantage. I mean, that's what I'd rather do. All the time, bro. I hate flanking.
Wild.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Just easy though. All the variant flanking rules are so complicated. I feel like they just bog down the game.
I don't think it's that bad. I think there's a few I've seen. I think literally just if you're flanking, -2 AC is perfectly reasonable. And the only reason I'd rather do that is because there's so many features in the game that are like, you get advantage. And if you just get advantage from flanking, they're all useless. Eldritch Knight. Oh my god. The archetypal Eldritch Knight combines the martial mastery common to all fighters with a careful study of magic. Eldritch Knights use magical techniques similar to those practiced by wizards. They focus their study on 2 of the 8 schools of magic, Abjuration and Evocation. Abjuration spells grant Eldritch Knights additional protection in battle, and Evocation spells deal damage to many foes at once, extending the fighter's reach in combat. These knights learn a comparatively small number of spells, putting them to memory instead of keeping them in a spell book. Oh my god. Bro, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say about Eldritch Knight, man?
Here's what you say about Eldritch Knight. It's bad. You don't get any spells, so you can't really rely on you.
Yeah.
For anything but shield, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cause I don't. You can take damage spells, but you should just hit things instead, because it's better. You get a neat feature, War Magic at 7th level, which is okay, until you get your 3rd attack, and then the feature is actively worth it.
Yeah, it
because
makes
it
you just worse.
You then can't use 3 attacks.
Yeah.
What is it? We haven't done wizard. There is what is it? Blade Singing Wizard has like the same feature, but it was made in Tasha's. but it actually is written better, and it would work.
Yeah.
It would make more sense here.
And also, it's they reprint Eldritch Knight. At least I don't know if this is gonna be like this in the 2024 handbook or not. But so far, they have reworded it to actually work as a subclass, which is great. And I would love to play an Eldritch Knight in the new rules. But as it is, it's kind of clunky. You don't get to cast any spells. It sucks. There's like a cool time at exactly level 8 where you can use like Booming Blade and then attack as a bonus action, which is kind of cool. And that's
Kinda. All the
don't get me wrong, it's not that cool, but it's kind of cool, and that's kind of all you got.
Well, the class reads is like you're a fighter that can cast spells, but all the class really boils down to is you can cast shield a few times per day.
Yeah.
And then at 7th level, you can cast Booming Blade and attack. But there's not really any diversity there. You can't really do anything. You can't really take other spells.
No.
You can kind of take...
At 13th level, you can haste yourself, which is kind of neat. But, you know...
I guess.
You could be not this fighter and have your wizard or sorcerer haste you at any other level. So.
Or have boots of haste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... Or something.
There's a lot of things you could do. So it's like, that's not super awesome.
I mean, you can technically cast, like, Blur at some point in there. But your features just don't really help you cast spells. So you're just better off. You're not good enough at it. You don't have enough spells. And you can't do enough. Where casting spells is really worth your time.
Yeah. And
you just be better as a champion fighter.
Sorta some funny things you could do, I guess. Where you could, like, just take weapon bond, right? Then you can just throw stuff at people and then teleport it back to your hand. And then, I don't know, maybe you could just multi-class into something else after that and just kind of ignore the fact that you have spells.
Or you could get a weapon with a returning feature.
Yeah.
Through an artificer, which is just better than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could be a Hexblade, which can sort of do that, and is a good character.
Hexblade's not clunky at it, but Hexblade could technically do it.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but, you know.
There are better ways to do it.
So, I don't know. I do actually think, unfortunately, it doesn't, like, actively make... Like, it's not Trickery and Battle Rager, but I'm putting it in D. Like, I do think that using this character optimally, right, using all your subclass features the way that you want to is making yourself a worse fighter than just being a fighter.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So, you know. Rip Eldritch Knight.
Because having the spells would be neat if you could actually have spells that mattered.
Right.
You really can't.
So we are not talking about Echo Knight, because they're critical role stuff. But if we were, they'd be S tier because they're broken and disgusting.
They'd be F tier because they were thought out not at all.
Alright, well, they'd be S tier mechanically, but yeah, to DM for, they're like F tier, maybe even below F tier.
I haven't seen them used in Critical Role. I don't know. They are Critical Role things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just don't abuse them, but I had a player play an Echo Knight in my game, and if you're watching this and you're a DM and your player asks you to play, if they can play an Echo Knight, really consider it, because if they want to, they can like single-handedly ruin the game.
Yeah. Yep.
Is really bad.
I think it's probably too, for DMs that don't realize that they can ban subclasses and stuff. You will see people pick this fighter subclass a lot. I think pretty much in any D&D campaign that I've like seen or like semi been a part of, where you could pick whatever you want, someone has been like, I want to be an Echo Knight. And then half of the campaign is them asking the DM how they can fuck something up. And then nothing actually gets done because it's just the DM saying, I'm not going to let you do that because that would be lame, even though,
Yeah,
like,
and then
raw,
the
it could do it. So, and
Then the
Echo
Echo
Knight's
Knight
just like,
goes,
oh, that sucks.
But my feature says I can. I can teleport. Balls disappear and fly at will. I can.
I'm much more unique than the other guys.
I can just make a fading timeline version of myself through that wall, and then in the sky, and then use it to fly through the air
Yeah.
across the universe, teleport through walls, rob every.
Yeah, kind of.
It's terrible.
It sucks. Gunslinger, also a critical role class, so I'm not gonna talk about it, but
That one's cool though.
it's kind of battlemaster, but you have a gun. But it's
also
cooler.
Than Battlemaster.
Yeah, it's also
way
cooler.
more thought out.
All right, hold on. Look, you don't.
So anyway, Psi Warrior
All right, fine.
deflected.
Yeah, you read Psi Warrior.
Oh. The archetypical
No, it doesn't say it that time.
awake to the psionic power within, a Psi Warrior fighter who augments their physical might with psi-infused weapon strikes, telekinetic lashes, and barriers of mental force. Many Githyanki train to be such warriors, and as do some of the most disciplined high elves. In the world of Eberron, many young Kalishtar dream of becoming Psi Warriors. As a Psi Warrior, you might have honed your psionic abilities through solo discipline, unlocked it under the tutelage of a master, or refined it at an academy dedicated to wielding the mind's power as both a weapon and shield.
Yeah, Psi Warrior. This is a really weird subclass. At least, I don't know. I think it's a really weird subclass. Cause I feel like, I don't know if it was like accidentally, but a lot of the time when you're building a Psi Warrior, you just take Psi Warrior and then you also go and take, shoot. My brain is not working. Is it, yeah, Soul Knife as well? You just take 3 levels in both? Cause, I don't know. it kind of works for a character.
I've never heard that before.
But either way, we're not talking about rogues. And, I don't know.
I think the weird part here.
This class on its own is kind of cool. It's kind of
The
bad.
class is just what?
What?
This class is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, but it kind of sucks.
You get to do all kinds of stuff. What do you mean? This is just like Eldritch Knight, but it like works.
It's not really Eldritch Knight. You don't actually have spells.
Yeah, but you basically do.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about Arcane Archer.
You can like push yourself around with your mind. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not as good as having spells.
Yeah, it's not as good as having spells. That's why Eldritch Knight's in D.
Look, it's not because of the spells, okay? It's because of the other things.
Yeah. Yeah. But this quote-unquote spells that Arcane Archer has are better, and the quote-unquote spells that Psi Warrior has is better and more interesting and fun. You get, like, you can block damage, which is kind of like shield, but it's more interesting because it's different and exciting.
It's
You
more
use, like,
interesting,
your
but it
Psi
is
type.
also just worse than
I
shield.
strike people. You get to like do extra damage. You can push yourself with your brain. Then later,
You get the ability to like pseudo fly. With your psychic abilities, you gain like a fly speed, which is like you moving yourself with your brain, which is cool. And then you get another one where you can like hit people with your weapon and then psychically push them away from you or knock them prone.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of Battlemaster, but it's actually cool. It's got cool like flavor built into it instead of you just being man guy dude.
Being man guy dude is cool. I'm sorry. I think it's compelling to be a guy who doesn't have magic in a world full of people who have magic. Especially if you're really good and really strong and there's like things you can do that are
That's
interesting.
what rogues are for.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. All the features here are kind of just good. I don't know where you're getting this bad.
They're just not
Just
like
a good
super
dude.
awesome. I don't know.
You can gain a fly speed.
I mean, yeah.
You get to push people with your sword.
Sure.
You can give your allies half cover with telekinetic force.
Alright, but Eldritch Knight, like, can do a lot of this stuff too. By the time you're level 18 or 15.
But
and
not
I
by the
mean-
time you're level 7.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, the level 7 stuff is alright, but you do still need...
Good.
You still need to push int as this character. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't need to necessarily push it. If you want your telekinetic thrust to be good, you need to push it. But if you just want a psi leap around, you don't need int at all. If you just want a telekinetic movement around.
But I feel like your psionic strike is like mechanically what you're playing this class for. You do your psionic strike, you do your telekinetic thrust, like that's your thing, you know? You want to have int.
I see this class and I want to fly around. Also, you could just have int.
Yeah, but like you're still a fighter. Like, do you want heavy armor? If you do, you need 15 strength. You definitely, well, I mean, you probably want
don't.
on. You want to
Take like a use like a heavy crossbow and just shoot people, and then you push them.
Yeah, but you
run.
can push people with a heavy crossbow as battlemaster,
But you can also.
and you don't
Fly.
need int to do it. Yeah.
Having int isn't a downside.
Look, being multiple ability score dependent is a downside.
Yeah, but if you have, my point is if you have a finesse ranged weapon, you only need dex. Then you're only dex and int. Your saves don't matter as much as a caster.
I mean, it's okay,
because
but
you're
you know
mostly
who
just
else is Dex
shooting
and
someone
Int?
with
An
your
Artificer with a gun. And they get spells. I mean...
They don't get second wind or action surge or 5 attacks per turn.
Oh, look, I'm not even gonna say that an Artificer's better, okay? I'm just saying that I like Psi Warrior, okay? I'm not, like, against you. I'm just saying, if I'm arguing for a place in a tier list for Psi Warrior...
Where would you put it then? Huh?
That's a good question.
So heated.
I don't actually know.
You have no idea.
Well,
He's
okay.
out here punching at me, and he's like, I don't even
Probably
know.
here.
I put it in... Wow. That's where I'd put it. This guy's so mad. It's like, this is the worst class
It
I've ever
isn't the
seen.
worst class.
I'd put it in B.
No, it's pretty
All of its
good.
features are just like if you're a garbage artificer with no spells.
No, hold on,
and
hold on.
no flavor. It's just worthless. I'd put it in B.
It's fine. It's
It's
good.
good.
It's pretty good. It's
It's
one of the
good.
better fighter subclasses for sure.
My God.
Now we have the best fighter subclass, Purple Dragon Knight Banner.
Real fighter subclass?
It is.
Did they print this in a book?
They sure did.
Oh.
I don't know, man. What the hell? Did I read the last one or did you?
I did.
Alright, here we go. Purple Dragon Knights are warriors who hail from the kingdom of Cormyr. Pledged to protect the crown, they take the fight against evil beyond the kingdom's borders. They are tasked with wandering the lands as knights errant, relying on their judgment, bravery, and fidelity to guide them in defeating evildoers. A Purple Dragon Knight inspires greatness in others by committing brave deeds in battle. The mere presence of a knight in a hamlet is enough to cause some orcs and bandits to seek easier prey. A lone knight is a skilled warrior, but a knight leading a band of allies can transform even the most poorly equipped militia into a ferocious war band. A knight prefers to lead through deeds, not words. As a knight spearheads an attack, the knight's actions can awaken reserves of courage and conviction in allies that they never suspected they had. So true, dude.
I love Cormyr. Woo!
Yo.
Woo!
The one thing you get at level 3 as this character is if you use Second Wind, 3 creatures within 60 feet of you heal equal to your fighter level if they can see or hear you.
I mean,
That's it.
That's pretty good.
Bro, that's terrible. You get 1 second wind per short rest at level 3, bro. That's your whole subclass feature.
At level 3, this is really bad.
You can heal 3 health to 3 people.
Actually, at level 10, second wind's pretty good. And this is still pretty bad. I mean, you get...
It's horrible.
I mean, that's sort of what this is. It's just like, it sounds cool. It's like you get healing as a fighter. You get the ability to, like, inspire others to heal them. You get, like, charisma proficiencies and expertise. You get the ability at level 10, when you action surge, you can, like, rally your allies to attack as well. And you're like, this is cool. I want to play like a bard type fighter.
Yeah, but your 7th level feature is you get expertise and persuasion. That's it, bro. Just
these features
it's
are
horrible.
So overwhelming. They're so much weaker than they should be.
If you use action surge, 1 creature can use an attack with a reaction. Freaking battlmasters could do this at level 3!
That's my point. It's like, that's an okay feature. It's not an okay level 10 feature. That's an okay, like, level 3 feature.
Like, bro.
You're doing that once. They get to make 1 reaction. As a reaction, they can make 1 attack.
Is so bad, bro. Like, everything it does is just freaking bad. Like, the 18th level thing is that your 10th level feature is now usable. And you're level 18.
Yeah.
Bro, on Champion basically adds nothing to just being a fighter, and this adds less than that. I'm putting this shit in F tier. I don't care.
Alright. Epic.
Screw Purple Dragon Knight Banneret, bro. It's terrible.
Woo!
Alright. Rune Knight.
Rune Knights enhance their martial prowess using the supernatural power of runes. An ancient practice that originated with giants. Rune cutters can be found among families of giants, and you likely learned your methods first or second hand from from such a mystical artisan. Whether you found the giant's work carved into a hill or cave, or learned the runes from a sage or met a giant in person, you studied the giant's craft and learned how to apply the magic runes to empower your.
Also, you gain proficiency with smith's tools, and you can speak, read, and write giant as just a random proficiency. It's cool when they give you a tool proficiency for free. My opinion.
It's flavor. This class has an enormous.
They have so much flavor, and not only do they have it, they're so good.
Yeah, its features are interesting and exciting and good. There's just a lot of flavor. They also have the best feature in the entire game. At 10th level, you roll a 3d4 and you grow that many inches permanently.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That's
Tell me
awesome.
that isn't the best level 10 feature of all time.
It's sick.
I mean, they get other things as well, but like, you also get that. You just grow 3d4 inches. You could just roll
You could just get a foot taller, bro.
And be a foot taller.
That's sick.
Imagine you just wake up one day and you're a foot tall.
Yeah.
Just because you're good. Imagine how cool that would be.
Yeah, no, it's
You're 2
good.
foot tall gnome, all of a sudden 3 foot tall.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really have to go into too much what they do, but you know, they're big, they do damage, they sorta have spells, kind of like the Psi Warrior and the Arcane Archer, except I think these ones are better and slightly more
it's cool
modular.
It's like based around, you pick runes that you inscribe the runes onto your stuff, and the runes have a persistent effect, which is cool. It's like a persistent thing that you always benefit from, and then they have an active effect.
Yeah.
So you sort of get like 2 things per rune. You get to mix and match them. They're related to giants, which gives it a more flavor.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not just combat based. So they're like out of combat.
I play a fighter, I'm probably playing this or a battlemaster, just because. Well, okay, Psi Warriors are cool. I will give Psi Warrior that. But there's not like a lot that fighter gives that lends itself, for me, to like a really like cool, interesting character like I'd want to play with. I don't know. But you know, this is good. It's a good build. Yeah, me like. Also, other than the Echo Knight, which some people allow, I guess it's probably mechanically the best fighter as well. But I like it, so I'm putting it in S tier. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, put it up there. Yeah, put it up there.
No
fighting for once. Whoa.
Now, Samurai. Here we go.
Samurai.
Bro, every single D&D player, when trying to make a samurai character, there's a samurai fighter subclass? I just like made something else instead, bro. I'm just a Kensai monk. I get it, though. Anyway, the samurai is a fighter who draws on an impeccable fighting spirit to overcome enemies. The samurai's resolve is nearly unbreakable, and the samurai's path have 2 choices: yield or die fighting. Wowzer. Wow, that's... Ooh, man, that's pretty cool.
I feel like you're roasting samurai too hard.
You get to learn history, so you can learn about Japan, and then you get to learn a language of your choice, so you learn Japanese. There you go.
Japanese isn't a language.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool when everyone else is like, what language are you speaking? And you're like, oh, obviously, like, the glorious language of the East, like, And everyone's just like, but it's not canon to my world. And you're just like, well, I learned Japanese on frickin' Duolingo, so I might as well use it.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
It can kind of go sicko mode a little bit.
yeah, it
Like
can.
if you use all your features at once, you can get like a really big turn, which is kind of cool.
You can.
I think.
You can kind of set up yourself to do that one thing that samurais do where they go like shing, do a bunch of damage to someone in one attack, which is neat. But
It's
also
cool.
you sort of can't do that because you don't like fly across the battlefield at the speed of light and go through someone, you know. And
I mean,
don't
that
know.
would be a cool feature if they made that.
But
But
yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, giving yourself advantage is pretty
I
good,
feel like-
especially if you're not playing with flanking. You get some temp HP. It's like,
I
alright,
feel like
sure.
if it wasn't named Samurai, you wouldn't be roasting it so hard.
I feel like if it wasn't named Samurai, people in the D&D community at large might like it more. But because it is, they expect something out of it that it doesn't fully deliver on, so they're just like, bad and
I
move
guess
on.
it's like a fair criticism. Yes.
Because
But
it isn't like
I-
just bad. I mean, it isn't just good either, but you know, it's...
I think the idea is they're less of a. My idea is, I don't think they're supposed to be like a crazy, edgy anime samurai like the guys who wear no armor. They just wear cloth and they dash in, cut someone in half in a single hit, and are never touched.
Yeah, but look, people pick this and they want to be
Like-
Zoro. You can't be Zoro when you pick this.
But this is like the armored ogre masked samurai
It
who
is.
goes in like feudal Japan type samurai. They walk up and they fight you tooth and nail to the death on a bloody battlefield.
Yeah.
They're the guy that's like 3 feet taller than you, and they mow down groups of peasants because they're the relentless fighter, and they're schooled and noble
Yeah.
because they've got this fighting spirit feature where they get advantage and temp HP.
I think...
So they're supposed to just push through the pain and just fight. They're not like unhittable ninjas.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what people want.
They're more like a feudal Japan samurai in the big heavy armor.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I don't think they're missing on that fantasy. There's just this idea of this popularized anime quote unquote samurai that isn't the same as the feudal Japan heavy armored samurai.
yeah. But also there's, I mean, that's not all it is, right? Also, fighting spirit doesn't have a lot of uses, and it isn't tied to short rest like most other fighter things and a lot of their other subclasses as well, which is a little bit of a shame. The temp HP it gives isn't super good. The advantage is nice, but there's other ways to get advantage in the game, especially in the updated rulebook where you can get a weapon.
Yeah,
with a
but it
trick
is your
feature.
whole turn, so as you get to high levels, it's pretty good to go all out.
Yeah, but I'm
Like,
just
if
saying, if
you-
you have another way to give yourself advantage, it sorta doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but it kind of means you can always have advantage, right? Because if you have another way to get it, then you just do that, and then if you don't have advantage,
Sure.
you can use this.
Also, elegant
And
courtiers.
if you don't have advantage and you're up against a guy, and you just use it, you gain some temp HP, and then you action surge, you attack
No, it's
6
it's
times,
Good. It's good, yeah.
all with advantage.
But you're probably not gonna do that because the reason you're playing this is because of Rapid Strike, right? And if you take the attack action and have advantage, you can forego the advantage to get an additional attack.
I mean, that's for double. But yeah, then you attack 1,000 times.
But you do lose that advantage, which will probably wind up just lowering your
Yeah,
damage.
but you can only do it once. You can only do it once per turn.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like...
It's just sort of, instead of 6 attacks, you do 7.
Yeah.
Which
it's
is
okay.
better. Rolling 2 attacks is better than rolling 1 at advantage.
Yeah, at 15, it's probably rare that you're gonna miss anyway. Unless you're at disadvantage, but...
Well, also, if you're rolling at advantage, the ideal is you crit, right?
Yeah.
But if you roll good twice, then you just hit once. But if you roll good twice on 2 attacks, then you hit twice.
Yeah,
If you roll bad twice,
no,
then
it's
you just
good.
hit
It's good, especially on
anyway.
an enchanted weapon that adds like +3 damage, and then like a D4 on top of that, like another attack
And
adds
if
a
you have,
shit
like,
ton.
Great Weapon Master, then that's
Another 10
Weapon
damage.
Masters,
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a pretty good feature. Don't get me wrong. Is it as good as some other level 15 fighter features? I don't think so. I mean, to be fair, a lot of them are bad. So I guess it is as good as a lot of other level 15 fighter features.
Very good feature.
It's pretty good. This is kind of why you're playing it, is for this.
And if you aren't using Fighting Spirit, you can still do this. If you're just flanking, that's just an extra attack every turn.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, I don't know. Tireless Spirit, it's kind of mid. It's okay. If they, like pretty much everyone who has already complained, it'd be cool if you could just regain 1 use, even if you have not 0. Like if you have 1 remaining, you could just regain 1 use up to your cap or something.
Yeah, I mean, that'd probably be fair.
I mean, people complain about that about pretty much every feature that's like, if you have 0, because, you know,
I mean, I think it's fine. It's if you have 0,
a lot of times
you gain 1 if it's a short rest feature, but since it's a long rest feature, yeah, then you're sort of punished for saving them, which feels kind of bad. But yeah, I don't know. I'd put this in
Also,
probably.
Strength Before Death is kind of funny. What, you can take another turn if you die once per long rest.
Well, if you go to 0
Yeah.
without dying immediately, yeah,
Which
it's cool.
You know.
You could stack it with the orc feature too.
Yeah.
You go down and then you don't, and then you go down again and then you don't.
Which kind of plays towards that one archetype you were talking about, where you have like the big like combo club, and you are like a heavily armored like ogre type character, play an orc. You know?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not terrible mechanically. It's nothing special. Role-playing wise, it's pretty cool. It's not awesome. You do get Elegant Courtier, like I was saying before, at 7, which kind of adds a lot to your role-playing, but... I don't know. It's alright. I don't know, what do you think?
I'd put it in B.
Yeah, I'm not really too upset either way. I can put it in B. Like, I'd probably put it in B or C, but I'm not really sure where. It's decent. Alright, cool. Those are the fighters. Yippee. We're fighting. Who's next? The monk? Oh god.
Oh god. Oh god.
Well, you know, it do be that way sometimes, I suppose.
Boy doesn't like monks, apparently.
Whatever. I'm sure you're gonna have just as little to praise about monks as I am, even though you've recently become a monk enjoyer.
Well, maybe I'll say it next episode.
Sure. Anyways.
I'll save my secrets.
Yeah, good. See you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.